Good morning. This is really take 3 of doing this. And this will be the only video, the first one that I will do multiple takes for. Anything else is going to be one and done. So this and what the format is, I'll get to it in a second. But it's very uncomfortable talking to a selfie stick. I'm also wearing a weighted vest. I stick out like a sore thumb. And as I was doing this, the first go of it, like for no reason at all, a group of, 200 church-going members were doing a prayer walk. And I was like, yeah, I can't, I can't do this. But got it to a spot now where I feel okay doing it. But let me catch you guys up to snuff. So I started this YouTube channel called Block Party Academy, mainly because I like talking ball and wanted to put presentations up there and to get back some coin. But the biggest reason was to cut down on my install meetings I had with my guys, and to eliminate the coaches that were constantly asking for presentations and clinics and that sort of stuff. So that was like my main motivating factor. And I was doing that when I was at Ferris State University in Michigan as the offensive line coach. And then I got the job at Mississippi Valley State as the offensive coordinator. And the head man there was like, can you take these down? I don't want anybody to have, a feel for what we're going to do offensively. So I didn't take them down, I did take them down, but just kind of, made it non-findable to all the normal folk. But anyways, I left Mississippi Valley State and I'm at Davenport University as the offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach. Will be a whole different element to these presentations coming up here. But essentially, head man there thinks it's a great idea to be more active on social media and on the internet. And he, gave me the green light. And I was reached out to by another website called Coaching Share. And that's really where this started from. So essentially, I'm putting up all of those presentations and clinics and videos from the Block Party Academy are available at Coaching Share /Lunch Pail, or the Lunch Pail. And I started this and I'm going to be doing more presentations and new content and fresh stuff just like this. And to give you a rundown of what that's all going to look like is right now with Coaching Share is I have, I have all those videos on there priced out, ready to go and roll. They're doing some remodeling with the website. So from pretty much today until July, somewhere in there, will be the launch of, all of the content and stuff. And there's a lot of good stuff in there. The biggest thing is obviously I'm charging for these presentations. Obviously I'm a Division II coach. I'm trying to make some money so I can maintain being a Division II coach because I love coaching. And we got to get some income rolling in here. It's just the way life is. But on top of that, and that kind of being a motivator, I think it's time that I made it a little bit harder for coaches to have access to me. Of coaches beating me down constantly asking about fronts and how to block them and that sort of stuff. And it's not like I want to, only make it, pay to play. So we're going to have a bunch of free stuff. And I also think of myself too, what would be of great value as a first-time coach or in those early years that I couldn't find anywhere on the internet. So we're gonna have free content getting put up there too. And I'll be honest with you, the one I just put up, I don't know how much I would pay for, but I put up as free because it's not materials that I have, or they're not mine. You know, I just started collecting them in this book of football, and it's 240 pages of just different graphics and practice schedules and templates and all that sort of stuff. So, you know, that's all on there, along with like practice plan, a book of workouts, a book of nutrition, just basic things I think every coach should have. I'm making it free on my website, and I'll have free stuff and presentations and that sort of stuff. Coaching Share / Lunch Pail. And as a roundabout point, why Lunch Pail? I laughed so hard and brought such a smile to my face because, number one, I believe in football being a blue collar physical sport. Number two, I have all the appreciation and kind of envy for blue collar workers because my brain doesn't work like that, but I wish I could do construction and wrench on a car and have a farm or whatever. But like, if I was like seriously gonna try that, I'd probably be dead within a week. Like, it's just, that ain't me. You know, God bless me with being a football coach, but I so wish I could do that stuff. But third reason too, the Lunch Pail, is I love that idea of like, you get that thing, you know, with the tin and open it up, and it's kind of almost like a mystery of what's in there between, you know, what kind of a sandwich, what kind of fruit, and also too, you're not gonna get something super extravagant, but you're just hoping it's better than a bologna sandwich. And then the fourth one, obviously, for why we call it the Lunch Pail is, I don't know about you guys, but if anybody was gonna get in a fight back in the day, or you would be, you know, threatening somebody or saying, you know, it's gonna be a, you know, real brouhaha or a Donnybrook, you would say, all I know is he better bring his lunch pail. And so that all kind of deals with why we call it that. And it, you know, it makes me excited to go to it, which I think is the biggest thing, which will make me want to do more content. So what kind of content are you going to see on the channel? Well, we're going to have a couple of different things. Number one, I'm not doing anything for anybody else. I'm going to be selfish with this stuff. And it will all be on my time and things I like to do. And so here, this is a walk and talk. Put on a weighted vest, gonna get my steps in, gonna get my workout in, and might as well talk over a general point. So today's general point is just giving you a rundown on what you're looking at here. So this is a walk and talk. Grab the selfie stick and go. I think the easier and more simple I get with it, the more likely I'm going to repeat this. And I think consistency is the big thing with producing content. Second thing that we'll have is a chalk talk, which will be me on the whiteboard, and it's going to be me rolling through a scheme or a play. And part of that is, you know, it will be like 10 minutes, hopefully 10 to 30. I get long-winded. Not gonna lie, not gonna sit here and you know, fib to you guys. I'm a long-winded talker, I don't mind saying that. But yeah, it'll be on a whiteboard and we'll just go through Inside Zone. And the reason for that is it will be a very concentrated teaching that I have of it. And so that way, if you can't afford to get the 8-video bundle of Let's Run the Football and you're an entry-level coach, this video is not just as good, but it will give you the information that you need. It'll give you more information than I had and more teaching and coaching tips than I had when I first started running the play. So those will be chalk talks, and we'll be pretty limitless with the amount of run game that we'll go through. And it won't even be necessarily run game that I'm doing, but maybe just you know, of putting out there, you know, new play designs or going against an odd front, just different chalk talk stuff. And once I know what the heck I'm doing as a quarterbacks coach, we'll put some of that in there too. Okay, the third thing that we'll have are what's known as office hours. So from here on out, I am charging for consultation. It's just gotten to the point where, you know, I've given 12 years of my coaching career for free consultation with programs, and I've always heard from other coaches is that's the way you're supposed to do it, and you know, just all that this is how it's done. And yeah, you give them, and then you can call somebody else and take them. Well, I have in 12 years very seldom needed to talk to another coach to get stuff, and guess what? Half the time I did, if not more, wasn't getting the answers, wasn't getting reached out back to, no reply, no phone call. So I don't know who's telling me this and saying this is how it's done, but brother, I'm done with that. So this is what's gonna happen is from here on out, and I'm not gonna waste anybody's time, certainly. In fact, it will be more, it'll be a better plan. It will be more detail, more stuff to go in it. But charging people and setting up appointments is where we're at with this. But I want to make sure that, like, again, I keep circling back to if I was an entry-level coach and I saw this channel, I'd be super pumped that I know I'm gonna get free content. And I would ask those guys that, like, don't be buying nothing until you can afford it, and always go to another coach to pool up money to get any of this. And nothing I put up, and my policy is it's worth that value, if not more, or what I would pay for it if I was in that position. So anyways, with all that being said, I still want to make sure that guys have the ability to access me. So I will answer all emails sent to Parker at lunchpailheadquarters.com. All questions, all, you know, just anything that you've got, send it to that email and I'll answer it. And if it's really good, I'll use it for what's known as another segment called office hours. So I'll sit down, roll through the emails, take a question and go through it. You know, just another way to get content, another way that you guys can get your questions answered and that sort of stuff. I think it's so critical to helping out. And then if it's anything more extensive, like that you can't get resolved in that Q&A session, then yeah, I'm charging you for consultation or just not giving you that stuff. But essentially, you know, like, why doing this? No, number one, like, took a, you know, being a Division II football coach, and just really a football coach in general. And I got told this very early on, and it was tremendous advice, but don't get into coaching to make money. And I've never been into that point, but it's getting to that point where I have gone, you know, 12 years of bare bones and you know, literally sleeping on couches and that sort of stuff, which I think a lot of coaches can relate to get to this point. And to be honest with you, it's still so far from like an income that you can support a family on. So, you know, being at Davenport, the other coaches teaching me about, you know, how to manage football life, family, you know, being a coach, and also having another job to generate some income. And so with that, this is why we're doing it. And I think for the longest time, you know, I was consulted by other coaches that like if you double down and became, you know, like a Twitter coach or start selling stuff on Twitter, that all of a sudden your credibility would be compromised. and that you're not going to get that Division I job. Well, newsflash, I don't want the Division I job. I had the Division I job. I was the Division I offensive coordinator, and it was a pretty difficult time, man. And we'll get more into that in another video, but yeah, that's 100%, where we're at right now. And I don't care about coaching D1 football. It looks like a mess anyways. I mean, I meet those guys, they look miserable as can be. But what I am very interested in and have a great desire, yep, I got you guys, is to make some money off of this, and to make it that I'm supplementing my income and able to get this to a point where I can do more videos and that sort of content and stuff. And I was sitting there and I was really thinking about it, and there's this there's a great author, pastor, John C. Maxwell. He's an expert master class and has written hundreds of books, and mainly about leadership and mentality, and specifically relating to teamwork in not only sports, but I think mainly for the corporate world. And he's my favorite author, and he talks about how if you've got 5 trees in the yard, right, and you're gonna chop them down, to not chop each, and you only get 5 swings a day, take all 5 swings on the same tree and attack it tree to tree to tree. And your 5 swings are 5 things that you're gonna do every single day consistently. Eventually the tree's gonna fall down, and then you can move on to the next one. By the time you knock over that 5th tree, you've got a pretty good set of 5 swings rolling with, So he talks about how every day he's going to read something, he's going to write something, he's going to think, he's going to file, and I think maybe communicate, schedule. I don't know. You can look it up though. But anyways, it gave me the mindset and the focus to do my own 5. And so I've played around with it, and he recommends to, like, I got the idea. He says in his book too, like, do this. Don't make it the same ones as I have, but do this. And so mine are, and I've tinkered with it, and then like have always tried to replace it, but they keep coming back as the same ones. And it's SPAFO, SPAFO, and it stands for serve, pray, action, fast, and one more. So if I break those down, serve every day, do something for somebody who can never repay you, typically throw a piece of trash away. So this is my servitude today. Pray, obviously, sit there in contemplative thought, a concentrated prayer. Action, I'm gonna take action on something each day. I'm not gonna, something comes up, I'm gonna attack it. Fasting from one thing, and then one more. I'm doing one more. Anytime I'm working out or being active, I'm gonna do one more. Well, I got into thinking, I want to have concrete, black and white to know, because if I just say pray, well, is that a 10-second prayer? Is it 20-second? And I'm, judging that and all this stuff. So, it's now my, my devotional, and the prayer at the end of the devotional. So that way I know every time I open up my coach's Bible and I do my devotional that I'm checking off one of these swings during the day. How's it going? And then if I'm breaking it down that way, I'm like, okay, when I say serve, like, what's like a next level serve? And I just kind of determined that it's got to be, doing something that that I'm, excelling at and have done well excelling. I used to be good at this stuff, creating content and being entertaining. So hopefully that comes back. That's why I went to school and got my degree in. And I just sat there and I'm like, well, like I said earlier, as much as I want to be, able to wrench on cars and build stuff, my trade is digital content. And that's why, that's why I went to school for. So I need to double down on that, and I need to. So in terms of serving, these videos are designed to help at just one person. And to be honest with you, that person is going to be me. So each of these walk and talk videos are not just going to be rambling, incoherent. It might come off that way, don't get me wrong. It's going to come off pretty incoherent and rambling. But essentially, these are all for, it's for me. So I can go back, check notes, work on an idea, concept, a brainstorming session for what will be a presentation or clinic down the road. But and I'm teasing about just being for me. I think too that, like, if this video got 1 view, right, that I imagine that somebody in that amount of time of watching this is, I'm serving them by either entertaining them, educating them, motivating them, whatever it takes, but something to positively impact them. So that's going into a daily swing. So it won't be every day, and certainly probably not going to be every week, but regular. And I'm trying to front load it and do a bunch of these and a lot of videos between now and the end of summer, and just schedule them out. So through the fall, like, I don't need to be concerned about it, and they'll go up, scheduled. So that way I'm always, there'll always be new stuff coming up and in a scheduled, consistent way. And that's all we're looking at, is being consistent with this whole thing. So if I can do that, then it's going to be mission accomplished. But I do like this walk and talk. I'm going to tell you that much, because I can also see there the time code. So it tells me how long I've been wearing. This vest is 40 pounds, by the way. I think I'm almost at an hour with it. I know I'm sweating through this sweatshirt. No, I'm getting it up here. Oh my. But yeah, that's, very exciting on what we got with the old Lunch Pail. So in like review, if you were a fan of those presentations in the Block Party Academy, and you like, the style of ball and all that stuff, then get ready for more of that, and certainly it'll be packaged differently, but you're gonna have new, how's it going?
Going good.
New and original content coming out here. Yeah, so distracting. Like 200 people on the church walk. I caught the tail end of it as I was hiding out from. Oh, this is so much better. Anyways, so this is what you got in review. 1, if you were a fan of all those presentations, they're accessible and for sale, and some of them are even free, okay? 2, if you can't afford it, don't worry. I will be putting up clips from those presentations and uploading them onto the channel, so that way everybody, you'll get something, and they will go up and down. So like I'll unlock them for 2 months and just kind of cycle through clips from those presentations, so no matter what, you're gonna get something from them, or you can buy them all and then keep them for your staff. You're also gonna get new videos, kind of these ones here, the walk and talks, which will be kind of brainstorming sessions. So it could be anything from what this channel's gonna look like, the forecasting for this channel to, talking through how we do a two-handed snap. We're talking through a particular technique or philosophy with the game of football. Pretty excited with that one because it allows me to kind of process and work on some ideas I have, and then I can go back and review and put them into action. So you're gonna get that. You're gonna get chalk talk, going through plays. You'll have an avenue and an outlet to get your questions answered and tape brought up and able to roll through and submit tape to be reviewed on the channel. And most importantly, you're gonna get high quality premium presentations coming up here pretty soon. So how it will work is I'll sit in here and talk with you guys and kind of roll through, my process and kind of lay out an entire presentation, and then go through and then actually use that to form and storyboard the video and the presentation and then execute it. So I've got a bunch coming down the pipe, and all of them too, they're all going to be seriesed up. If it's any that's going to be like a standalone where it's only one video or something like that, it's got to be something that's insanely popular, like our two-handed snap, like that video is on there. You gotta fork over the coin for it, but that's kind of a one-off, and so it's got to be insanely popular, or if it's not just something I want to do, I'll make it for free to give that content. So again, you're getting 3, and also too, we're gonna have further down the road, probably by next summer, some demonstration videos and some workout alongs, which I'm pretty excited to get to. We're probably a year out from that. But a lot of exciting stuff, and like the premium, the wicked awesome presentations are going to be rolling through, and just kind of coming up when they I'm able to. But there's, and then further projects that are going to be down the road. But like a long-term one is there will be at some point on my storefront an accessible playbook for purchase. Vizio, the PDF, the whole nine, that you could purchase this playbook and plug into your system. There'll even be that with all the videos so you can install it and all that sort of stuff. And there's also going to be sample videos or sample Vizio templates and sample PowerPoint presentation deal. There's just going to be a bunch of stuff that doesn't just necessarily pertain to videos and X's and O's on my website, but things that will save coaches time and that coaches will really want. I at the end of the day, I sit here and I think of how guarded I've kept a lot of stuff, and also too that I'm kind of the guy that's like, I don't care, they got to still stop it mindset, and I have been pretty charitable, and I just sit there and I'm like, you know what, screw it, man. If I'm not a coach, what would I do? I'd put up that playbook for my offense and make money off of it. And I'm like, well, shoot, what's holding you back? Am I worried that the opposing team's gonna know that when we say, freaky, that we're running inside zone? Or if we say, jolly, that we're shifting the protection left? Like, come on. So that will be coming down the pipe. So you're getting a bunch of stuff here. Really enjoy doing this and looking forward to doing more of it. And I hope I can you know, make a little coin and ship at these student loans. Yeah, I'm excited, I'm not gonna lie. And just producing quick videos that are easy for me to do, that are free, and you can still get something out of them, I think is incredibly important and good for all parties, and kind of checks off, you know, what I have for, you know, serving the football community. And it really is like, I can point at like to anybody and be like, well, how many free things do you have for coaches to access? You know, do you have things that you're just giving away to guys but are going to critique me? And if so, like, okay. So but yeah, officially as it is right now, I really don't care at all the opinions of, you know, the people in my circle, outside of, you know, the ones that truly matter in my closest circle. But, you know, I don't care that people are gonna hate on this and, you know, basically call me a clown and all that stuff that, you know, usually comes with adding a social media presence. Because at the end of the day, I know that the work I'm doing is going to serve at least one other coach that I wouldn't have been able to reach. It'll help me out in a lot of avenues with coaching in general. And at the end of the day, I enjoy doing this. And I'm going to do this and hopefully create a ton of stuff that a lot of people can enjoy and benefit their program. So that's what you got coming. We'll obviously drop the website when it's live and products are available and all that stuff, and kind of just always keep that going. So I guess I should always end these with like, okay, this is what's on docket, right? So I'm trying to think. So the next thing that we've got is the storefront opening up, how to reach me for questions and submit stuff, where to buy stuff, and then what you can be looking forward to from that standpoint with the website. So yeah, that's about it. I mean, a little rough around the edges, but we'll iron this out. Not too bad. 32 minutes, 33, kind of rolling. Sign off. Need a sign off? Don't forget to bring your lunch pail. Good walk and talk.